Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. This is Tarot by Melissa, and for today's reading, we're going to be answering the question, what is their issue with you? Blunt, as always, of course. So my goal with this reading is to help you guys get clarity and understanding on what's going on with a person on your mind from their perspective. And this doesn't necessarily have to be about romantic relationships, you guys. You can really watch this video to get clarity on any connection in your life that might not be going that well, or that's feeling super confusing, or there's conflict within, right? So it could be a sibling, a family member, a friend, coworker. Any of those scenarios can certainly apply to this reading. Getting into our disclaimers, keep in mind that this is a general reading, so some of the messages may apply quite specifically to you in your situation, others of the messages might not. So if it doesn't feel like it fits for you, simply just release it and let it go. Please never allow it to get you upset if something in one of these readings just doesn't feel like it fits for you. They're general, so they cannot and will not fit with everything for every person. If you guys did want to book a personal reading, all the details on how you can book one with me will be linked in the description box down below. And as always, as you're viewing tarot readings, view with caution and bear in mind that these really are general and should be used for entertainment purposes only. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into our deck selection. So we have a choice between 3 different decks for today's reading. So you're just going to pick the one that you feel the most intuitively connected to as you're thinking about your person on your mind. For pile 1, we are working with the Field Tarot and this little blue aqua crystal. For pile 2, we are working with the Rider-Waite Smith, a more bedazzled version of it, and then we have some rose quartz. And then for pile 3, we have the Tarot de la Nuit with this moonstone crystal. So I want you guys to go ahead and take a deep breath. Think about your person. Really centering in on what their issue is with you from their perspective. Go ahead and select the deck or the crystal that you feel the most intuitively connected to. And once you've made your choice, scroll down to the description box to locate the timestamps that will take you to your selected reading. See you guys there. Hello, pile 1. If you guys selected the Field Tarot with this little blue aqua obsidian crystal, this will be your message. So we're trying to understand what your person's issue is with you. Again, as I mentioned in the intro, you guys can view this for any connection in your life. It does not necessarily have to only be for a romantic love interest. And remember, we're looking at it from this person's perspective. So just because this is how they feel about it, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the full truth of the matter, right? So let's begin with our pre-shuffled oracles just to try to understand where they stand energetically, and then we'll move into the tarot. So pile 1, what is their issue with you? So we start off here with the message of addicted. And we have the unknown. Okay. So this is intriguing. Pile 1. I always love doing these types of readings because I know that a lot of you guys watch these not for love, and I feel like we get some really interesting stuff that goes on. So what's kind of jumping out to me is the moon phases here, because we have, I think this is a waxing moon. Yeah, this is a waxing moon. And then we have the new moon. And if I'm not mistaken, the waxing moon is the phase that comes just before the new moon, the new beginning here. So what I feel with your person is that they're sort of struggling to sort of release something as it pertains to this connection and allow themselves to move into a new beginning, move into the unknown. With this addicted card coming up, this person is, I think, still a bit unhealthily attached to you. I also think this is a person who has really given up their own power in a sense, right? Because being addicted is almost like being enslaved to something in a way, metaphorically, right? You can see they have the chains here. They've got these needles sticking out of their back. You know, it's sort of this energy of not being able to move forward because they're just, they're stuck in this unhealthy place, whatever that is. So your person could have just an unhealthy addiction to you specifically, or just an unhealthy attachment to you. But they may also be struggling with other types of addictions in their life, right? This can be anything, that we can be addicted to in life. Gambling, shopping, drugs, alcohol, those types of things could be at play as well. And I think that your person is in a place where they understand that it's time to make some sort of new change, new beginning. Ooh, sorry guys. Talk too much with my hands. What I was saying is they know that it's time to let go. They know that it's time for a new beginning, because this card, the unknown, it's focusing on the new moon, which is all about new energy, new beginnings. But I think they're struggling with a little bit of fear around letting something go with regard to this connection and pushing themselves forward into something that's not familiar to them. It could be that they've become too reliant on you guys, pile one, like maybe they are chained metaphorically to you because they feel like they can't do it for themselves or do something for themselves. If you guys have separated out from this person, there could definitely be some resentment there around that. But let's see. Let's jump in to the tarot cards next. I am going to be taking reversals with this reading today because I do believe that it can add a bit more nuance to these messages. I did get somebody who told me that they didn't like when I read reversals because they said it was really off-putting and made them uneasy. And I just want to say there's nothing to be uneasy with about reversals. They just tell, a different side of the story. They give us more nuance, okay? All right, so pile one, what is their issue with them? So I want to start by looking at how they see themselves right now. So we're going to look at how do they see themselves? How do they see the issue in this connection? What is it from their perspective? And then you. So how does pile one's person see themselves as it pertains to this connection right now? Oh, wow. So we have a 10 of swords. See, I feel like maybe your person is feeling a little bit stabbed in the back right now because the 10 of swords is literally about that betrayal energy. And you can see this person in this card has been stabbed in the back in some way. Let's continue. Tell me how this person is, what is this person's perception of the issue in this connection? The Magician. And what's their issue with pile three? How do they see pile three? I'm sorry, pile one. Sorry, you guys. How do they see pile one, my viewers, with regard to the issues here? The Empress. Okay. We have the Hermit reverse here at the bottom. So there's this desire to come out of separation and to reconnect, which is interesting, right? Like I was saying, they're having a hard time fully separating themselves out from you. We're going to pull a couple of these for clarifiers, then we'll get into the full energy here. So for pile one's person, we're trying to understand their issue with pile one and what's going on from this person's perspective. So for pile one, let's see. How do they see themselves? Clarifying this 10 of wands, please. I'm sorry, 10 of swords. Oh, gosh. We have fated to be alone. Clarifying this Magician card, please. No good ones. Clarifying this Empress energy, please. We have fear of touch. Okay. We have not talking. You're not communicating your needs clearly. I feel like there is some sort of communication break, at least with you and this person, that they're not really loving right now. So what's their issue with you? Pile number one. So again, I do feel very strongly this person is still attached to you, but I do feel with the 10 of swords that they're feeling a bit betrayed right now. They feel that they've kind of hit this space of being at rock bottom. Again, they're dealing with some sort of problem here of their own, because this is how they see themselves. You know what I mean? And I feel like with this person, when I'm seeing them in this 10 of swords energy, but they're seeing you as this Empress energy, I almost feel that you guys show up in a very maternal way for this person. Like they view you as somebody who is, the ultimate divine feminine, someone who's a caretaker, a nurturer. like that immediately I was getting this like parent-child dynamic for some of you guys. It may not exactly be that, but I see like how they see themselves as being in this really downtrodden space, this really heavy space, but you're over here like in your prime. You're over here like holding all the power over them in a way from their perspective. There's something they get from you in terms of nurturance that they feel like they need to thrive. And it's interesting because with fear of touch coming up, it almost makes me feel like one of their issues with you is that maybe you have withdrawn some of that love, withdrawn some of that nurturance that they feel so desperately that they need. Okay? This person is just not in a good mindset right now either. Like, when I'm reading the message here on Fated to Be Alone, it says, you gave up on love because you think you are meant to be alone. That is not true. This person just has they're just in a really negative headspace. And even looking here at how like she's touching her head, she's touching her face, her head here. We've got a really heavy head. Like there's something about this person's thoughts that are just really unhealthy right now and also contributing to this headspace, like this negativity that they're in. All right. What's their issue with you, with the Magician? Again, I kind of feel like there's this energy of in and out, back and forth. I don't typically interpret the Magician like this, but I feel like it's now you see me, now you don't. Like I think of someone doing magic tricks, like trickster energy coming up here. I do kind of feel like this person sometimes feels like you withhold stuff from them. Withhold your energy, your presence, your time, your touch. Something like that. I don't know. But more traditionally speaking, when I'm seeing this Magician here, or thinking of like the traditional meaning of the Magician is about learning. It's about developing our skills. It's about manifestation. And it's making me feel like this person, like there's a challenge here for you guys to kind of come together and create. Because there's this mentality here that there's no good ones. There's someone out there for you. Don't let this false belief make you miss out. Like there's something about like maybe not seeing the best in each other, or only seeing the negative again in each other. It just, like, when I'm tapping into this energy, you guys, it really just kind of feels like this is a person who is just really not in a good space. They're feeling betrayed. They're feeling backstabbed. Part of it is their own issues, like their own attachment issues to you, and maybe other types of addictions that they're dealing with, and just not, like there's this paralyzation of them being so trapped in these negative thoughts that they're not realizing that they're on the precipice of being able to have a fresh start. You know what I mean? They're still just like, they feel attached. I'm feeling like they're attached. I'm feeling like there's a little bit of resentment here for some of you. And I feel like it's like they feel that you're withholding stuff from them that they want. And that's like the issue here. You know what I mean? Hopefully this is making sense, you guys. I don't know. Let's get a few more cards for pile one. What's their person's issue with them? The other thing I'm kind of noticing here is like how both of the people in these cards are nude, right? Which to me symbolizes vulnerability, being at your most vulnerable state. And yeah, I think this person is feeling just like really exposed right now. I think they're feeling really exposed. They might feel ashamed about something too. They feel like maybe they've been revealed. You've seen something in them that they aren't proud of. Let's see. Pile one. What's their person's issue with pile one, please? We have fear. observer. We have mask. Yeah, see. Yes, they feel left out in the cold. They feel abandoned by you in some way. Yeah, they feel like you guys don't really show yourself to them. Like you're not showing the vulnerability that they feel like they might show. But there's something about you withholding or not being yourself, or they feel like you're maybe being kind of fake or something with the mask card coming up. But at the same time, it's like I feel that they really crave your admiration with that Empress card being there, of how they see you. This person, though, like, with the fear card coming up, they are just dealing with a lot. I think that the fear of change, the fear of completely letting go, the fear of healing whatever addictions that they're in right now, the fear of new beginnings, they're just paralyzed energetically right now. It's just like they're not in a healthy space. I think that also they're also feeling like with the manifestation energy of the magician with the observer, I think that they would desire to kind of come back together with you. Because sometimes when I see the magician, this is when somebody is trying to attract us back in. And we have this internet energy here as well. So I feel like there could be some things going on online between the both of you where like maybe you guys could be posting something, they could be posting something. You guys are each seeing certain things that each other might be posting. And it's kind of like this undertone of trying to get each other's attention. You know what I mean? And I feel like there's something about this that bothers them, or that stands out to them in some type of way. Because there's like this energy of like watching each other, but not showing your face. Neither one of you guys is showing your true face. Maybe they saw something online that they don't like, and that's why they feel betrayed. You know what I mean? All right, so let's see. Pile one. Let's get your guidance or just your general advice. Let's close it out. What's the final message for pile one about this person? What do they need to know, please? What does pile one's person need to know about this connection, please? Final closing message. We have Tegeta, the mystic, magic. I weave my magic and surrender to the universe. And I believe this is a throat chakra card because it's all blue. We also have the Amber Star, which talks about letting go. And this is our sacral chakra being highlighted. So I feel like for you guys, both of these messages are really talking about the need to remain flexible and to release any need to control the situation if you have that. Sacral is giving me this energy of needing to really go with the flow. And this is, releasing. So just like this person needs to release and let go of something, you, my viewers, are also being guided to release and let go of something. This card also says, I surrender and allow myself to grieve. So there's something, maybe some sadness that you all even need to process through as it pertains to this connection. And there's a need to let go of any unhealthy attachments on your end as well. Okay. Now, I weave my magic and surrender to the universe. It's kind of interesting. This is talking about weaving your magic because the magician is very much about that. It's about manifestation. It's about owning your power with regard to the situation. And throat chakra being highlighted here is saying that your guidance is to start speaking your desires into existence. Right? So you guys are showing up here from your person's perspective as wearing a mask. Maybe there's some truth to this, right? Maybe there's a need for you guys to start vocalizing, taking off that mask and being more authentic to who you are when it comes to this connection or connections in general, right? But then again, we have this repeating theme of surrendering, right? So I think what it's asking you guys to do is just communicate with the universe, communicate maybe with this person if you feel called to. Be authentic about what you're feeling and then release it and let it go and see how the universe meets you halfway, right? It's kind of like putting it out there, but then releasing any expectation of the other person to react or respond in a certain way. It's just like letting the universe handle it, I hope this makes sense, pile one. Again, I always love doing these readings, so I feel like the scenarios we get are really interesting. So comment below. Let me know what your situation is with this person, who they are to you, and how you feel it resonates with the issues going on. If you're not already, please do subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell so that you'll be updated when I post the next reading, and I will see you then. Bye. Hey, pile number 2, if you guys selected the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot with this little rose quartz heart, this will be your message, and we're looking into your person and what their potential issue is with you. So again, we're looking at this from their perspective, so keep that in mind, right? Like, just because this is their viewpoint of things doesn't make it, the full truth of the matter. But let's go ahead and start by looking at where they currently stand energetically with this connection. So we have alone in the world coming up. We also have light. Hope is but a word casting the unseen. Let there be light where light is but a dream. Okay, so maybe this person, just from reading that, I'm going to cover that just in case. There could be an energy of this person, like perhaps being in a little bit of a dark space here as it pertains to this connection. But, the light is talking about hope. It's talking about things getting better. Now, going back over here to Alone in the World, I actually want to kind of start here because this card is sort of talking about a person who is waiting on somebody to come back, right? So I think that this person is in a place where they've been holding out hope that you guys are going to reconnect, or that things are going to get better, or that things might change. But this card also talks about being in a place of acceptance too. I do think that they're starting to move into a place of like accepting whatever it is that's going on with this connection. It doesn't necessarily feel like they're holding on to anything toxic here. I don't even know that I necessarily see the problem yet. We're going to see as we, of course, tap into the energy a little bit more. But energetically where they stand is that there's this energy of waiting for you to come back, wishing you would come back, being hopeful and optimistic that you will, or that things will get better with this connection. So let's jump in and just kind of see. I feel like they're probably needing to work on self-love as well. Or maybe they are working on that right now, but let's see. So for pile 2's person, I'm trying to understand their issue with my pile 2 viewers. And I want to begin with how they view themselves with regard to whatever the problem is here. So how does pile number 2's person view themselves with regard to whatever the problem is here? Knight of Pentacles in reverse. How does this person view the problem in this connection? What, from their perspective, how do they see this connection right now? What's their problem? What's their issue? Ace of Swords. How do they view my pile 2 viewers with regard to the situation? Knight of Cups reversed. And we also have the Justice card here at the bottom of the deck. Okay, let's pull a few clarifying cards here for pile number 2. Tell me a little bit about their person and what their issue is with pile 2. Starting off with this Knight of Pentacles. Clarifying the Knight of Pentacles, please. Ooh, we have demanding. Okay. Clarifying the energy of the Ace of Swords, please. Okay, makes sense. Clarifying the energy of this Knight of Cups reverse, please. Okay. Very interesting, you guys. So the first thing that's kind of jumping out at me is that both of these knights are in reverse. Your person being the Knight of Pentacles, them seeing you as the Knight of Cups, okay? And both of these knights, or knights in general in the tarot, talk about action, right? Forward movement, putting forth effort. Pentacles being kind of that tangible material effort. Cups being kind of more about that emotional expression sort of effort, right? Both in reverse. And so I think this really speaks to this energy of being alone in the world, right? Because again, there's this sense from this person's perspective that there's no action between the both of you, that they've been kind of sitting in the dark, that they don't really know what's going on. There's also this energy with the Ace of Swords of being like a problem with communication here, right? Mixed signals. You don't let others know you're interested, flirt, and be approachable. So I feel like kind of the problem from this person's perspective is more so that like you guys need to have a conversation to clear the air about something here. Okay, that you guys are not being clear with one another through your action about what it is that you each need or want or desire from the other person. You know, it's just like we're not doing anything right now. There could be some really like interesting karmic lessons that are going on with this connection too, but I'm also kind of feeling, now that I see this, I also kind of feel like you and this person are both struggling with just being authentic, right? Because not being you, Justice, the Five of Swords, this is an energy of kind of like being very measured and neutral, right? Like looking at things very objectively and neutrally, and sometimes being a little bit like this, I'm just going to match their energy. Like whatever they do, I'm going to do. You know what I mean? They don't text me back for 3 hours. I'm going to wait 3 hours to text them back. You know what I mean? It's like this lack of vulnerability that I see between the both of you, and it's impacting the progress here, and it's definitely causing mixed signals. Okay, now, your person here is the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and then we have this energy of demanding. You set impossible standards for your partner to meet, be less demanding. So I do kind of feel like this person, from their perspective, the first thing I thought when the Knight of Pentacles came up reverse is that I do feel your person could be a little bit stubborn, right? I think this is a person who could be a bit stubborn. I also think this could be a person who is just lazy, right? They're lazy in terms of the effort that they're willing to put in right now. This is how they see themselves. I think they feel like they have standards, right? Like they have standards. Their standards could be really high. They could have like a very specific expectation of how you are supposed to show up here. And because you're not doing something, they're not doing this. Like they're not putting forth any effort. Does that make sense? So I do think the way they perceive you is quite interesting because we have a Knight of Cups reversed with pent-up anger, which the Knight of Cups reversed is typically someone who is like just not feeling romantic or not feeling that jovial or happy. They're not as emotionally expressive. And I could definitely see it equating to like more negative emotions too, right? Like instead of being nice, we're being mean, or instead of being, you know, that person that spreads sunshine and happiness and who's really nice and kind, we're just kind of grumpy, you know? So from this person's perspective, they actually feel like you guys have an issue with them, like that you have an issue, that you're mad at them about something, or that you maybe just aren't really being that nice to them, and it's confusing them and causing them to feel like there's mixed signals. So going back to this, it's like they do feel that they've been sort of in the dark with things. They're very much waiting for you to do something versus them taking any action or feeling like they need to do something, because again, they seem to have these standards of what they feel like it should look like in their head. And apparently whatever that is means that they're not taking action or putting in effort, okay? So let's see. Let's continue. It's just like there's this energy of just hoping but not doing. You know what I mean? So let's continue for pile 2. What is their person's issue with them? What's going on from their person's perspective? So we have vibrations coming out. We have compromise, yes. We have inner child coming up. We also have ascending. You see, I definitely feel that this person is becoming a little bit more aware because, again, they're seeing the light. They're accepting something about this. I think this person may be working on themselves too during this time apart. Like with vibrations here, it's very meditative vibes, you know? So I do think they've been working on themselves. I feel like they've been trying to like wake up here to understand a little bit better on their end of things. And they are ascending. They're understanding this from a higher perspective. I think that there's like this, definitely what I feel the issue is from this person's perspective is that they want communication, they want clarity, they want you guys to come together and resolve whatever this conflict is. It's like their issue is some sort of conflict in which both of you guys are not really doing anything to solve it together. It's like both of you are just kind of at this standstill. They feel like they've been waiting for you. But I feel like what they really do desire here is to come together and come to some sort of a compromise, right? Maybe you guys each aren't going to get exactly what you want from the other, but maybe they feel that you guys could clear the air and sort of meet in the middle, you know? It's interesting that the inner child card came up as like how they see you. I do think this person is maybe quite spiritual or maybe understands these concepts about like inner child healing and things like that potentially. So they may actually be seeing this angry energy or this not as nice energy. Or maybe even this non-romantic energy if you guys are romantic with this person. Like they could just be seeing that as something that you need to work on from your childhood, like some sort of inner child healing that you need to do. Now for others of you, if you're like, no, this person is not really that evolved, like they could literally be seeing you as like being childish potentially. But yeah, pile 2, I feel like it's pretty cut and dry with this person. That their issue with you is that there's some conflict that they feel like they would like to resolve, but it's like they want you to put in some effort. But I think they also realize that they need to put in effort too. You know what I mean? So let's get another message for you guys to close it out. So for pile number 2, please tell us what else they need to know about this connection. For my pile 2 viewers, what else do they need to know about this connection? Ooh, we have Alcyone. I don't know. I'm not pronouncing that right. The Moonstone Star Passion. I am entering a portal of euphoric love. So, we also have Lapis Lazuli. My inner vision guides me to my higher purpose. This is the third eye being highlighted here in this card. So I think part of what Spirit wants you guys to know is that intuitively, you guys have a strong intuition and you are already probably clearly seeing this for what it is. So don't second guess yourself, right? Whatever you feel is off about it, whatever you are seeing about the situation, trust yourself. Trust the intuition because it's guiding you in the right direction here. This also is talking about like focusing on your higher purpose too. Like what is your higher purpose? What are the goals or the things that you're supposed to be focusing on right now? And how does this situation, this conflict that you're dealing with this person playing into that or not? I kind of feel like with this moonstone energy coming up with passion, so this is the sacral that's being highlighted here. It's just interesting because you guys are showing up as being like non-romantic to this person. I don't know if this is a romantic connection for some of you guys or if it's not, if it's something different, but I do kind of feel like this card is asking you to kind of like loosen up a little bit, right? Because it's the sacral chakra. It's about kind of like learning to be more in flow with things and just like take a more lighthearted approach somewhat. It also talks about euphoric love. So I feel like opening up your heart and like your emotional expression is really important when it comes to this connection. And that's what's being highlighted here. Maybe you guys have a hard time with emotional expression. You know, there's mixed signals here. So it's like the Knight of Cups reversed is not somebody who's good at romantic expression or emotional expression, right? They're blocked in that area. Whereas like this person is confused because whatever energy you're giving them is not matching up with whatever they feel the status of this connection should be. Does that make sense? So I think there's a need for you guys to like go with the flow a little bit more, loosen up, kind of release anything that's pent up within you. Open up your heart. And, you know, this card, it also talks about passion, right? Whether it's this connection or other connections in your life or just in general. I think this is a time where you guys want to be focusing in on being like living and aligning with your passions. So if you're passionate about something to do with this connection, express that. If you're passionate about other things, express those things, right? So I think we'll end the message here, pile 2, but please comment below. I would love to hear from you guys around how you feel this resonates with what's going on with your person. If you guys are not already, please do subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so you'll be updated when I post the next reading, and I look forward to seeing you there. Bye. Hey, pile 3, and welcome to your reading. If you guys picked the Tarot de la Nuit with this moonstone crystal, this will be your message, and we're looking into your person and asking what their issue is with you. So we're going to kind of look into this energy from their perspective, and I want to begin first by looking at these pre-shuffled oracle cards. So let's look to see where they stand energetically. So starting us off, we have the message of parasite. And then we have mistletoe. Okay. Okay. Where do they stand? Well, with parasite being here, this is telling me that there's something unhealthy with the dynamics here between you and this person. Like, I mean, obviously a parasite is something that latches on to its host, and like I think of a leech, right? Like how a leech just like latches on and it just sucks the blood out of someone. But then at the same time, it's like overly inflating itself, and it's not good for them either. You know, I don't know like why that came to mind. It's gross, but there's just something about this dynamic from this person's perspective that's really toxic. Now, I don't know if this person is like the quote unquote parasite here, or if they believe this is more your energy toward them. But either way, there's something about these dynamics that are just not healthy for either of you, regardless of you're like the victim of the parasitic behavior or the perpetrator of it, right? I also feel with our moon phase, like this person, I think that they are trying to let go of this, right? Because we're sort of like phasing out almost to the new moon energy. So I feel like this person is kind of like on the precipice of new beginnings here. And then we have mistletoe, which that's kind of why I'm feeling like they're on the precipice of new beginnings. What dreams may come from the borrowing of ivy held tight within the womb. Yeah, see, there's something about a new beginning. There's something about giving birth to new life. There could be children involved in the situation as well for some of you guys. Mistletoe is also protection, though, which I think is interesting when we have this parasite energy coming up, because there definitely seems to be some sort of acknowledgement from this person's perspective that there's an unhealthy attachment here. Okay, so let's now look to see with the tarot what else we need to know. So for pile 3, please let us know what this person's issue is with my pile 3 viewer. I want to start with how this person actually perceives their own energy. Perceive their own energy with regard to this matter. Hanged Man reverse. How does this person see the situation, this connection right now? 8 of Wands reversed. How do they perceive my pile 3 viewers, please, with this situation? 10 of Swords. Wow. We also have the Star here at the bottom. See, like there's definitely like a sense of optimism here that things are going to get better. I definitely see that with the mistletoe and the Star being here. I'm going to pull some clarifiers and then we'll just see what else comes through. But I definitely feel like they're trying to let something go with that hangman in reverse being here. All right, let's see. But also, I don't know, but they're also kind of still clinging. It's weird. Hold on. Okay, let me keep going. So for pile 3, we want to understand their person's issue with them, please. So let's start by clarifying this hangman in reverse. We have everyone leaves. Clarifying this 8 of Wands in reverse, please. Loves the answer. Clarifying this 10 of Swords, please. Demanding. Okay. What's their issue with you? Pile 3. Yeah, this person's energy is weird because it's like with this hangman in reverse, I feel like they're struggling to fully let it go, but there is this realization that something needs to be released here. Like they are still kind of clinging a little bit, I feel, with that, because hangman is about release. It's about surrender. They're not totally surrendering yet. There's still this element of control that I'm feeling. And it's like this person has like some sort of abandonment issue, I feel. Like maybe they cling on out of fear that someone is going to leave them, you know? This definitely feels like it could be more romantic for some of you guys with this mistletoe. Like some of them, you know, when I think of mistletoe, I think of like kind of being caught off guard, you know, by finding yourself under this mistletoe with someone. I think with the star, especially if this is romantic, I think that with the star, this person, they really idealize and fantasize a lot about like what could be in the future with you. And I think they imagine and dream of these little scenarios in their head of you guys just like meeting and having these, I don't know, like serendipitous moments like that, you know? But yeah, they definitely have some sort of abandonment issue here. And so I think something about your energy with this 10 of Swords, like the 10 of Swords is saying that I feel like they think you've stabbed them in the back. Like they feel stabbed in the back by you in some way. Because it seems like they're perceiving you as having really, really high standards. Okay. Like maybe they do. Some of them feel like you're demanding. It may not be that, you know, aggressive of an emotion for everybody watching this, but you set impossible standards for your partner to be less demanding. So I feel like they feel stabbed in the back by you or betrayed, or like they're having challenges because you guys have set some sort of standards that they feel might not be fair, right? Like maybe you guys left them, maybe you guys walked away from this connection and that's triggering them, you know? The thing is, though, with this person being in this parasite energy, you guys, I feel like they have a lot of healing that they need to do, a lot of self-love work that needs to happen. That's kind of being echoed here with the star too, you know, because until this person can be sustained on their own without needing you or somebody else to like fulfill or support them, they're never going to be able to show up as the right type of partner for anybody. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I didn't even see this yet. Love is the answer. Love won't solve your problems. You need to work on being independent. That's the issue here. It's like we're asking what their issue is with you, but I feel like a lot of the person's issues are coming from a lack of self-love, right? And a lack of independent energy that they need to work on within themselves. I don't think that they love the fact that communication has slowed down here, though, with this 8 of Wands reverse. I think that they are unhappy that things have like de-escalated here or just like fizzled out maybe here. They definitely see that as an issue, like something's fizzled out with this connection, maybe like the passion, the chemistry, the communication, the movement of things. Yeah, this person idealizes, right? Like they get in their head these like fantasies about the situation. I think they get caught up in this energy of, well, it's love, right? But they need to work on themselves. There's self-love issues here. because they have an unhealthy reliance on you guys. And it makes sense. Like if they have some sort of unhealthy reliance on you for something, like resources, time, energy, whatever, even your romantic energy, if it's romantic, it makes sense that you guys would have set a boundary. You know what I mean? We have to do that with people. We can't let people just like drain us of our life force energy and our resources, you know? All right, so let's see. Pile 3. What is pile 3's person's issue with them? Let's get a little bit more clarity here. What's their issue, please? We have ascending. See, I feel like they're starting to try to like understand it a little bit better. I think they are becoming a little bit more aware of this. It's like they're just on the precipice of getting it. You know, they're still clinging on to something, but they're so close that they would just kind of release and let go and just kind of like surrender. I think that they would be able to see things a lot more clearly than they currently are. I feel like they're so close though. We have pride and ego coming up here. What's their issue with pile 3? We have signs. Okay. Yeah, see, there's a need to release this. Let it go. Ascending and signs. So lots of spiritual energy here. Like this person is on the precipice of a spiritual awakening. You know what I mean? Trying to understand what direction they need to go in independently without you. I do think that this person is trying to listen to their intuition a little bit more, but they just still have a lot of work to do. They still have a lot of healing to do. They could be getting into spirituality or like tapping into spiritual practices for support during this time as well, or religion, something like that. But there is definitely like this prideful energy between you guys that I see. It's like I see it with these two cards, with the demanding energy and the pride and the ego. Like I feel like this person has an issue with something about the way you express or the way you show up, because a peacock, it's like showing itself off to attract a mate. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys like dress in a certain way or just the way that you communicate is very like, this is how it's going to be. It's like, I almost kind of feel like this person sees you as being above them in a certain way, right? Like you're really attractive. You attract a lot of people to you. There's just something about your energy that I feel this person sees as being really above them. And I do feel like this is an issue for them. So let's see, pile 3. Let's go ahead and we're going to just see what else you guys need to know to close this out. So for pile 3, what else should they know about this connection that they're asking about at this time? What else do they need to know? Oh, wow. So this is maybe crown chakra. Gateways of life, infinite. I have unlimited access to the divine mind. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the inner temple, life lessons. I go within my shadow for deep spiritual growth. So I feel like for you guys, there is this message about you going within to understand your shadow self, right? Clearly, this person has a shadow side that they're working through right now with the ascending and the signs. I feel like you guys need to do the same with this card coming up here. You're being asked to do the same. All of us have light and shadow attributes to our personalities, right? Like no one's going to be 100% light and rainbows and sunshine all the time. I'm being drawn back to that pride and ego energy. I think there's something about that you guys may want to reflect on, because again, even though it's this person's perspective and it doesn't always mean that it's 100% true, there could be something around that could be important for you guys to think about, right? Or reflect on at the very least. I think that This is so interesting because it's like a couple here. You know what I mean? It's like two people that are here together. I want to look in the guidebook and just see what it says. I'm kind of guided to feel like it's communication energy that needs work here. First of all, let me see this. Okay, yeah, this is the crown chakra. Higher consciousness, potential, and intellect. Merope and her human husband, King Sisyphus, support you to merge with your higher consciousness. As a couple, their shared vision and devotion to personal growth paved a gateway of light to the divine mind. This power is open to you as well. Utilize your intellectual vision, intuition, and perseverance to realize your true potential. Be inspired by Sisyphus's persistence and Merope's intuitive wisdom. You have unlimited access to the power of creatrix. So, yeah, this is kind of about like intellect and intuition and perseverance. I feel though, like intuitively, it's kind of interesting when I was reading about Merope and her human husband. It's like, I feel there probably is something really unique and special about you, my viewer, pile 3. But I feel like the person you guys are asking about is a human, right? Like maybe there's something about them that's different than you, or that you guys may not be necessarily on the same level in some capacity. But I do feel like what this is saying is that this person does have qualities and traits and attributes that are of value as well, even though they might not be the same as you. Again, going back to that pride and ego energy. It's about figuring out how to merge the two superpowers together to create growth. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's what this card is asking you to sort of like reflect on, is how can you merge the two superpowers together to grow? Because this person's not perfect. They clearly have a lot of healing to do. But at the same time, I do see them trying here. They're trying to look for a sign. They're trying to grow and evolve and understand. So I don't feel like they're all bad. But I think from their perspective, the issue with you is that there's like this ego getting in the way of communicating, and the ego is kind of slowing things down, and you may have these demands that they feel are unfair. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. You know, I don't know your situation, but yeah, there's something about merging your two superpowers together to work together versus like totally cutting them down, if that makes sense. So yeah, let me know, pile 3. Comment below. What's been going on with this person? How do you feel like this energy read resonates? If you're not already, please do subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so you'll be updated when I post the next reading. And I look forward to seeing you there. Bye.